Welcome to the Learn to Sew Academy channel. Please remember to subscribe. Thank you.
In this video, we're going to be stitching this dress. If you haven't seen the video where we cut this off-shoulder dress, I'll advise you check that out first. I'll link the video on this particular video so you can see how we cut the dress, and I'll also leave it on the video and in the description so you can see how this dress was cut. So the first thing we're going to be doing here is we're going to be joining the pockets first, and like I always like to emphasize, your pocket slants downwards. So when you put your pocket, make sure it's facing downwards, and you want your right side facing the right side, and you want it such that it's slanting downwards. So I have pinned the pockets on all four sides of the dress, on two sides of the front and two sides of the back. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to join the pockets. That's the first step. To take both sides, after you join the pockets, you take both sides and doing right side to right side. You want to match all of these sides. You match your pockets, and then from the shoulder area you want to match this, and you want to make sure the pockets match. And the next thing to do is we're going to be stitching this from the shoulder, from the armhole area. You match this from the armhole area, making sure that the pockets match. And then we're going to start stitching from the armhole area. You're going to stitch all the way down, like so, until you get to like half an inch after joining your pocket. And then you start stitching, and you go all around this and come back this way to half an inch from where you stitch your pocket, and then you go all the way to the end of the dress. And then we'll do exactly the same thing at the other side. If it helps, you can pin this together first before you go to your sewing machine. Otherwise, you can just go ahead and just stitch this if you don't need to pin it together. Now for the pocket, when I joined this pocket, I measured from up here down 14.5. So I measured 14.5 inches from the top here to do this pocket, to join the pocket. So you can do between that 14.5, or you can go to around 15, depending on what your height is. You may also want to measure yourself to see where you want your pocket to start from. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to be prepping the sleeve. So what I'm just going to do now is I'm going to fold the sleeve just like this, and I'm going to join this. The same thing I'll do over here. I'll just join this end of the sleeve. This is where I'm going to be adding my bell sleeve part of the sleeve. So I'm just going to be joining right here. Now I'm going to turn the join sleeve right side out. And what we want to do now is we want to take the seam. We'll open up the seam on the side of the sleeve and on the side of the main dress. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to doing right side to right side again, because we always sew on the wrong side, right? So I'm going to now start from the middle, matching the seams together, and then I'm going to just sew this way, and then I'm going to go the other way, and I'm going to sew from the middle all the way to the edges, and I'm do likewise on the other side. Next is to measure what I have around here. This is 25.5. So it is in 2 layers, so all across here is what I've just measured, or we can just go like that. I'm gonna look at 52. Next, I'm going to take my remaining fabric and I'm going to cut out 52 inches on the fold, and I'm going to make this 3.5. We need 3 inches, so I'm going to make this 3.5, and I'm going to be cutting it on the fold, and I need 52 inches. So I'm gonna keep cutting until I have a long enough stretch of fabric. That'll be 52 inches long after I join it. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. I'm going to run a stitch. We're going to join this together like that. Now I folded this fabric into 2 and I just ironed it out.
I was going to use an elastic thread for this upper part of the dress, but if you don't have one, you can opt for a very thin elastic like this one right here. This is a 1/4 of an inch wide elastic, so this is what I'm going to be using. Place the elastic about 1/2 inch away from the center fold, and as you start, make sure you do a back stitch right there at the beginning. Pull the elastic to stretch it as you sew along. When you get to the end of the fabric, close it again with your back stitch, that is your reversing stitch. Go back to the top of the fabric and leaving 1/2 inch between each elastic, continue to do exactly the same thing until you have about 3 to 4 rows of elastic. Next, bring the 2 ends together and just run your straight stitch to join that together.
Now this is the part that goes around here. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to sew this all across the neckline area, all the way across. We're just going to mash it and sew it all across. So that's what we're doing with this. So I've pinned this neckline all across, all around the neckline. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do a straight stitch so that I can attach both together, and then I'm gonna have something that looks like this when I'm done sewing. So this is the pinned neckline, so we're just gonna go ahead and sew it now. So this is what it looks like. That's the shoulder, the off shoulder part. So this is what we have. So the final part is going to be to attach my circle sleeve round about this. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to position it such that the shorter part of this is matching the front and the longer part matches the back of the sleeve. So I need to just align it properly and find the front and the back. And if possible, we can just put a little knot right there so that we know. And we're just going to align it.
So we're just going to match those center and let them align properly. And then I'm going to just pin that part And you can go ahead and pin it all across as you align it, if that will help you better in your sewing. And then once that is done, we'll just go to the sewing machine and use a straight stitch and just sew those together. We'll just sew this all around like that. And then we'll have our high-low belt sleeve, as you will see in the pictures. We'll do the same to the other sleeve, and once we're done, finally we'll now hem all the edges of the sleeve and also the edges of the dress, and that will complete this project. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this. Please remember to leave us a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you.